condemnation before God. Now, the same can be said as true when you're dealing with people that are in religious organizations that aren't technically cults, but they greatly favor the false teachings of the church in question. Welcome, Tab Biblical. Your microphone is muted, Mr. Tab Biblical.
Hi, buddy.
Welcome. And if you start playing the ukulele, I'm gonna bounce you. No, I'm kidding. Biblical Tab's he's a non-backstabbing friend.
Yeah, long time no see, Tab.
Yeah, so you got to understand, persuading people to abandon their false beliefs is not easy because people gravitate toward their false beliefs for a variety of reasons, which also include they would like it to be true. Okay?
Right.
Okay? Look, like when it comes to evolution, when you criticize evolution and you champion creationism, some of the evolution types, like for example on TikTok and YouTube, like the unsufferable and adolescent behaving Fiasco Peterson, just can't bring themselves to imagine that the scientific community could be wrong in their dogmatic belief that mutations built the entire genome of the animal kingdom aided by selection processes. Okay.
Yeah, that's another thing that I've kind of argued with my sister about is evolution, because she's been a Christian just as long as I've been, and for a while she was thinking that evolution was true.
Well, in the link that I sent you, there's a folder on anti-evolution and creationism where there are literally hundreds of very carefully selected books exposing evolution and excellent books defending creationism. You also want to look in the new books folders for additional stuff that I have yet to sort into their folders, because there's really good books, there's really good stuff in there.
Yeah, one thing I made sure to grab that I have to read is the Bonson trilogy that he had in there. Yeah,
and those are pretty easy reading, and they're really good. Look, I really recommend, because you're young, okay? I really recommend that if you need to buy some bandwidth or improve your bandwidth situation, the link that I sent you, it's feasible. Download the whole thing and then make a backup copy that you're not going to lose, because this is a lifetime supply of resources for you if you want to be a defender of the faith. I mean, it's just, I would have passed out with utter joy if I had 40 years ago what I now have in my possession. I literally would have been I wouldn't believe, you know, and that's one thing. I wish I had these resources that I have now than I did then. Although there were a lot of good Christian books then, but there's even more now. So if you want to get good at you have to put time in it. You have to study. You got to study the Bible, study the Bible, and then also study books by people who have a great deal more of lifetime studies on those related disciplines related to like apologetics and creationism.
Yeah, 100%. I got a paper copy of the Objective Proof for Christianity or something.
Excellent. Yeah, read that book several times. Okay? Because the more you read it, the more it's going to be ingrained in your mind. Because what the book is doing is it's explaining and extrapolating how to correctly think about the world. And so, even though I've always believed the Bible ago, my more recent exposure to biblical presuppositionalism has blown my mind at how powerful and what great application certain passages had to a greater extent than I did years before exposure to this. Right? I didn't understand how rich and deep these passages are. Okay.
Yeah.
Another thing is this:
Super glad I
don't get discouraged when you interact with people because you don't change their minds. Don't get discouraged by that at all.
100%.
Because more often than not, even if you're super educated on the topic, it's still not going, it's going to fall upon deaf ears because it has to do with a heart attitude.
I 100%.
Hey, speaking of which, Darth.
Yes.
I don't mean to interrupt here, but I've been thinking of a new background I want to write by.
No, you're free to interrupt me anytime. I mean, you've been absolutely loyal to me, so interrupt away, my friend.
Well, I didn't want to cause your learning session with Mitzvah to go away because I was.
You can interrupt my verbal diarrhea anytime you want.
Okay, so I came up with a background. I go atheist. You know what's make believe? Question mark? Question mark?
Say it again.
And then.
Oh, you teacup Tab.
He probably has a phone call.
Oh, okay.
Tab is a loyalist to the Galactic Empire. Can you repeat that again?
So the statement goes, atheist, question mark, do you know what's make believe? And then I say something like, I can't look at it verbatim because I didn't write it down, but I have it said something like, that by you not believing makes God disappear. Think that we don't believe that God isn't real? Like, why are you?
I've actually had them say that to me on numerous occasions. Yeah. I'll say, how is it that God does not exist? And I've had them literally on dozens of occasions saying, God doesn't exist because I don't believe in him.
They've so it's like an authoritative statement. That's what I've been trying to explain. That's a statement of authority. So they determine what exists and doesn't exist. So they're the single unifying principle that determines all that can and cannot be.
Oh my gosh.
So that's what I was coming up with so that I could just get it out there and then just say something silly like, you know what's make-believe?